my new old Lowry, I think it's a TLO1. There's no label on the back of it, so I'm gonna have to rip it open and see if that's exactly what it is, but it sure looks like one. And I'm gonna sample the heck out of it, so I can finally do Babo O'Reilly and Won't Get Fooled Again, and I've Known No War maybe. Townsend used one of these a lot, well the TBO one anyway, for that, and Quadrophenia, best 2 album. Anyway, here we go, it's on. It's a little staticky, I'm gonna have to clean it a lot and do some adjusting. Alright. I guess that's full blast. Sounds pretty close. So far I'll have to do some niggling and naggling to get it perfect, but I don't know what buttons Townsend used to actually, I don't know. I'll have to muck around. There we go. There it is. Cleaning and wiring to commence. Ooh, sounds like I'm in a casino. All right. Found the label underneath the keyboard. So yeah, little Strauss to celebrate. So I got the back off. Oh, sorry, I'm using my cell phone flashlight to light all this. So I got the back off, and there we go. It's cleaning day. I'm going to take this outside and give it the old spray in the back, because for the age that it is, it's in really good shape actually in the back, so I'm very pleased with that. Still has a little bit of crackly noises and stuff, but I don't think that's going to be an issue. Gonna haul it out and clean it. Alright. I should have just left it out there, but you never know what's going to rain with it. So I got the back off already. Still has that barrack box smell. World War II barrack box found up in Grandpa's attic kind of smell. What do you do? Alright. Let's get her done. There's a lot more light out here that you can see the insides. So it's in not bad shape. Let me just do the old lift off here. Whoa, whoa, steady, steady hooper. There we go. I'll take it right inside. Sorry for the jittery. It's in pretty good shape. So I'm just going to give it a spray. Get some of the dust off it. And then we'll haul her back inside again. And the next step will be tuning. If it is out of tune, it seems like it's in pretty good tune when I tried it. We'll give it a spray. And off to the next step. I got it back in. I cleaned it out. Took the mini Leslie out. right under here, if you're ever working on one of these and you want to take this left side out, right under here there's a nut, well, a wing nut that screws the bottom of this in. Once you get it out, it's a pain in the to get back in. Just more, it's lining up the holes, and maybe it's just because I'm not that good at stuff like that, but it's in there now. Actually, I'm trying to decide whether I'm tightening it or loosening it. I was hoping I would be tightening it. Righty tighty, lefty loosey. Whatever. Okay, so it's back in, and test number one is I'm going to get my Baba O'Reilly CD, wherever it is. I'm going to put it in this way so I can adjust the tempo, and I'll see how the tuning and all that lines up. Got my CD. First thing I'm going to test is, okay, I got Baba O'Reilly kind of put in here. So I can test the rhythm of the repeat. Yeah, that's the word. Thank you. But the first thing I'm going to try is I'm going to see what it's tuned in, because you might know this if you're a Who fan. If you don't, here's a little bit of trivia. Baba O'Reilly was recorded in A equals 446 hertz. Nowadays we use 440, which is our standard tuning, but back then the European standard was 446. So remember when you were trying to learn how to play Baba O'Reilly and you put your guitar on and you sit down and you fire it up and you go, man, I gotta tune everything to be in tune with it. Well, that's because they recorded it at 446. That was the standard. So when you're sampling it, when I tried to sample it off the recording and loop it, which was kind of a pain anyway because there's all that anyway, it would be out of tune with 440, and that's painful. So you'd have to go into some software and try and get it to 440 so you could play it without having to go, okay, we're going to do Baba O'Reilly, everybody tune up. Painful. So I'm going to see how the tuning is on it. I'm assuming since it was bought North American and it's 440, but we'll find out. So turn that off. Where is it? Where'd it go? Oh, there it is. Off. So where's A? 440. Yay! So first off, that'll make life so much easier. So it's in 440. Happy days, happy times. Okay. Ooh, scary. 3D. Probably not enough light in there. There we go. So we're in here now. I'm assuming this is the repeat board, and right there, there's a little knob, a potentiometer. I'm probably saying that wrong, but whatever. That's the knob I'm assuming does the repeat. So what I'm going to do now is turn the repeat on, and hopefully it's close. And then that's another thing I don't got to do. So let me slap that back in there. Sorry. Okay, so repeat. On. No, just kidding. Before I do that, maybe I should just see what the speed is in comparison with the recording, right? I might not have to do anything. Although I will have to do that later when I do the, I think they're 30-second notes that go blah, 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 blah. So, all right. Now I'm on Behind Blue Eyes. So there we go. Sounds a little slow. I guess I should find my metronome and I could just figure it out that way. Okay, got a metronome. It'll make life easier, a little tap thing on it, so let's interesting. It's pretty much 120 beats a minute. Fascinating. So I'm actually going to do it at 120, so let's 120. Just to make life easy. Way too slow. Alright, let's see if this is what I think it is. That's what it is. I wonder why they put it all the way back there. I don't understand. Engineers. Because of course I'm touching I think a capacitor here with my bare hand, so that's not too bright either, but okay. Sounds like it's off time. I know what I'll do. That sounds a bit right. Shut up. There. I just turned it to 240 and then at least I had a rhythm. So I think I got it now. Sounds like there's a funny delay in it. Might not be perfect, but it seems pretty close. Hear how it's out soon? Alright. That's done. Next project is to run a cord out of there's an earphone jack right underneath this panel. And I'm going to try and wire it up to the board and see if it's recordable that way. And I might even mic it too, I don't know. I might mic it just to... Oh! I killed it. It's going to blow up. Stop. Anyway, onward and upward. Hey R2, what do you think? I've decided I better try and make sure I got the sound. It sounds alright, I guess. I pushed everything in, other than the solos. I got the solos off. I got vibrato on, but set to light. Doesn't seem to make... Just kind of gives it a kind of a phasing effect. These are all pushed in, all this is off. And over here, got this chorus on. I don't hear much of a difference in that either. And of course the repeat's on. It's many days later, and today we're going to try some sampling and see how far we get. So first thing I'm going to do is I'm going to test the outlet on the organ and see if it's stereo or mono. Just plug some headphones into it and see what it does. Alright then. The jack is under here somewhere. Right there. That's what happens when you live in the 21st century. It's not an 1/8 inch plug, it's a 1/4 inch plug. 1/4 inch it is. Ooh, it's noisy. And it sounds like it's mono, which is not a bad thing. Man, is it noisy. Ooh. It's got that 60 cycle hum going through it. And it's tight. Ooh. Haul it out and see if I can find where that little 60 cycle hum's coming from. Because I'd like to have it as quiet as possible. I'm not enough of an electrical engineer, period, to be able to start pulling wires and doing tests with a multimeter and stuff to figure out where this ground tone was coming from. So I went back and looked around and tried to see if maybe it was just some kind of interference. I put a filter on the actual line plugging into the wall. It still didn't take care of it, so I'll just have to deal with it. You can hear it. I got it plugged into the board now, 1/4 inch, channels in 5. There it is. So I can EQ it out. So that's what I'm going to do. I'm going to EQ it right out so it's gone. And a high pass filter kind of helps. Gonna start stampling. It's got to call it stampling because, like, but I haven't decided how I'm gonna try and do this yet. Whether I'm gonna use Reason and let a voltage control filter, VCF, kind of do the, or I'm actually gonna play it. I'd like to be able to play it live, so a drummer doesn't have to follow a click. I'd like to be able to play, and then I can speed it up and slow it down at will. Off we go, sampling stuff. Okay, I'm gonna sample it and then pan it. I'm gonna sample it mono and then make it stereo. Just because, the sonar, or 16-track audio, that ought to do it. Baba. Loaded up sonar. I'm going to sample it. It's obviously going to be in mono because it's a mono signal, and then I'll sample it again. And I'm going to start with sampling it with the repeat on at 120 beats per minute. Metronome off. Thank you. All right, level. All right. Sampling we will go. Record. It seems to want to hold on. Okay, you don't want to sit and listen to all that, but I'm going to sample everything all the way up to the end of the keyboard and then do it without the repeat on all the way up the keyboard. And I'll see where that gets me. Okay, progress. Hello. Okay. Why am I yelling? I don't know why I'm yelling. Coffee. Got my coffee. Today is the day where I plug all these samples into Reason and start to work out how I'm gonna create the Baba thing. I kind of created loops in SoundForge and of where I'm gonna, cut and paste and blah blah blah. I think I labeled them all wrong. I thought I started on C, which would just make sense, but I don't think I did. So I'm just gonna confirm that now, because if I I did. Oh, good. Well, that just saves me a pile of renaming. Plug it all into Reason. I'm going to try and use the VCF in the NXT sampler to create the because I've sampled them all kind of just the one note without the repeat on. We'll get that done and see where I end up. Got all the samples loaded in. I don't know if you can see that. I changed the camera so it would be a little different. The samples are loaded. I did each sample. I didn't take one sample and try and spread it over 3 keys. I wanted each note as a sample. So next step will be to see if I can replicate the with the VCF. I forgot about one very, very important aspect. Anyway, I kind of constructed pre-loops before I dumped it in here through SoundForge, and now that I've loaded it into Reason, I remembered I have to kind of get that loop working. So I want the loop, when I hold the note, to be, when I'm holding that note, I want it to sound like it's being held continuously. And you can hear in the loop there's a little spot because the the wave vibrates. So I'm trying to find that sweet spot where I loop it and it just sounds like when I hit the note, it's just one note. I'll be here for a while. Don't wait up. First C note done. Yay! I got my terminology mixed up. LFO, not VCF, although VCF is what's used, I think, on, won't get fooled again, but there's an LFO, low frequency oscillator on Reason. And that's what I'm using to try and replicate the repeat. I tried to loop all the samples and I got an octave and I said, I can't do this all day. I moved on to something else. Kind of what I got so far. So I'm gonna muck around with it a bit. I'm probably gonna layer it, try and stereo spread it, throw some effects and stuff on it. But there's the that part. So now I just gotta get the really fast part. This is obviously a work in progress. Filmed a whole bunch of video of the first round of sampling / looping / assigning, and I don't like it. I'm gonna start basically from scratch. I sampled it, just the clean notes, and then tried to use the low frequency oscillator in Reason to do the, and it just doesn't cut it. So, well, you be the judge. We're gonna go sampling it. Well, I've already sampled it at 120 beats per minute, but I'm gonna sample it at the higher speed to do that. Fail, 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 fail. But I got coffee. Did the resampling, resampled it with the repeat on, and much better. I like it a lot better. Down here, the eighth notes, I don't know, eighth notes, and then sampled it again, turned the repeater right up to max basically, and got the 16th notes. Put it into Reason. I have a combinator set up to do that, and another combinator to do this, with 2 NNXTs in each one slightly out of tune, just pitched lower, just to give it a little bit more fullness. And all I have to do now is learn how to play it. So, sounds kind of like this. My left hand, right hand coordination isn't the best, so. Like I said, but that's it. It's done, as far as I'm concerned. That's it. Done. Moving on to something else. If you want a copy of it, shoot me a message, and I'll be happy to send it to you. And you can improve on it. Great. Or you just want to muck around with it, or you just want to have it. Because I searched the internet high and low to try and find a patch and samples for Lowry's, and couldn't do it. So maybe this will help you. Comments below. What else do you got to say on these things? I like bacon, and that's it. Take care. Thanks for watching.